these are some of the new opportunities that we'll be doing, but one of them that I want to talk to you about is actually the possibility of developing an innovation program with industry. There's the wonderful organization that we have here today, but as you look at this and you look at this pipeline, we have grants in place that actually fund those mechanistic type research. What we need to do and put in place is these innovation awards. When I was in Arizona, we worked with Mayo Clinic Arizona. We developed innovation awards for projects that were almost commercial ready, but not quite there. And so we partnered and were able to do some pretty exciting things. You can think about these looking in a patient's room, how you develop a different IV pole, how you develop a different setting in a room, a different bed, different equipment, but this translates into lots of different areas. And so there's a lot of opportunity for us to partner together, and I'd actually like to form a special committee to look at this, see how we put these mechanisms in place, and if there aren't some ways that we could launch some new programs in this. And this is just a list of some of the projects that have been funded, sort of typical biomedical areas: cancer, cardiovascular, diabetes, lots of opportunity, great scientists. This is a project in the area of bone disease and looking at one of these new vibration platforms as a way. So you're able to look at an intervention, but look at the impact at a molecular level, but translate it back to changing a patient's life. And then, of course, some of you are probably familiar. Projects in the Alliance go all the way from working on things like robotics for children with cerebral palsy, and this is Cole Galloway's projects, all the way to looking at cancer and cancer in even older populations and the impact that it has on them. I think a great way to move forward is by the development and establishment of interdisciplinary centers. And again, as we think about these, industry can be involved and important in these centers. Okay, so now the exciting piece that everybody always wants to hear about. This is Chrysler, 272 acres. I think it increases the university's land holding by greater than 20%. This will probably be where you see all of the future development at the university. I always tell people when I show this slide, I mean, just look at the football field and compare that to the size of the Chrysler site. It's absolutely incredible. So this is a huge opportunity for the university. It is imagined as a mixed-use site as we continue to describe it. So what that means is there is private, there will be private pieces that are on this. There will be university pieces. It is not a 9-to-5 campus. It's a 24/7 place to be. It'll be residential. There will be rail that is enhanced there. And it will be the future home for Delaware Health Science Alliance, as well as my College of Health Sciences. So we're imagining us moving to that campus in 2 years, in 5 years, in 10 years. There are many people working on what that site will look like. This is simply one rendition. Nothing is in stone yet. It really is continuing to evolve. But of course, what I've highlighted for you are the three in red, 3 or 4 that are the College of Health Sciences buildings. So we're imagining 3 or 4 buildings. Jefferson is talking about a building on the campus as well to house their medical students. And then it will create opportunities for us to train the students together. Just to give you, so this is 896 right here, and the building that you see over there is the Ag School, to give you the perspective. And again, this is another building that just shows the same thing. But another thing I was thinking as I was sitting here listening this morning, so maybe eventually at some point the conferences here, or the biosciences meetings, could be there in a conference center. And so we'll have retail, hotels, as well as residential areas in the health sciences. Another thing we're looking at, and I'll talk about that, is...
we need a room that'll seat 200.
Okay, you'll have a room that'll seat 200. And another thing that will be different about this campus than what is already the university sort of style is they talk about this as more urban. So there will be higher rise buildings. I said this when I gave a talk in Jefferson, and of course they all laughed at me that, you know, it's not going to look like Philadelphia, but it's going to be urban for Newark. The other thing I really want to see on this campus is that we put a health signature across it so that it really is a walkable community designed to integrate a healthy campus. And so we're talking about bringing things in, a big fitness center. That is also a strong part of our research program. These are just some ideas. Of course, I'd love to see Whole Foods there. The True Foods is a restaurant by Andrew Weil. I've worked with that group in Arizona, and it's just a fabulous, almost spa-like restaurant that would be wonderful to have there. But we've been to Robert Wood Johnson. I've seen their foundation plans and walkways and things like that. I mentioned a fitness center. Another thing I'd really like to see, we have a physical therapy clinic now, which we really want to move out of McKinley and put it on the Chrysler site, and we're looking at an opportunity to do that in the administration building that is already there on the Chrysler site. So we have some designs on that. But very specifically on this fitness center, I really want it to be one that has glass, that's very integrated to the environment. And particularly this becomes important for individuals that are disabled because they don't have the same opportunity to be out and running and exercising in the environment. So we need to bring the environment to them in very exciting ways to stimulate that healing process. In the first things that go onto the Chrysler site, the most critical things for me are to move all of our clinical operations there. So there's a new nurse-managed healthcare center that is in McDowell Hall right now that would move there, as well as we're talking about our physical therapy clinic, and our physical therapy program is talking about doubling in size. We have a huge number of applications, excellent applications to our program, and we don't have space for all of them. So we'll be doubling the program and moving it there. We'll also be the home, of course, for DHSA, CTSA, and Delaware Rehab Institute. And then, of course, a number of different architectural firms have sort of started doing some drawings and everything. But again, we are open to ideas. We have not decided on anything, and we're just at the very, very beginning of planning stages. But I want it to be a site that is very welcoming and opening to the community. The other thing is that is extremely important, as I mentioned, the site is very mixed-used. So what we really want to do is foster collaboration. So we're imagining, in addition to the university buildings, that there will be biotech companies that are there, that we could do spin-out companies, that we can do partnerships. It will be a place that people can do research, that they can do application, that students can train, that it really is and if you think about this, how many times, or do people even in their life get an opportunity to build a site from the ground up in a way that will really foster the types of activity that you want to do. So this is really a unique opportunity that we really want to reach out and engage everybody in this. I'm trying to create some committees and everything to try to get people's input into how we design and build out this site. And I think with that, this is my last slide. So my email address is right on the bottom. It's ksmatt@udel.edu. And my phone number, 831-8370. I did not bring these today, but we have brochures, we have folders, we have lots of information on all the things that we're doing in the Alliance. So if you want to get a hold of these, I can certainly do that. And I just thank you again for inviting me to come. And I also congratulate this group on all that you are doing here. It is amazing, it's exciting, and I think it's just the tip of the iceberg in terms of what we're going to do together.